In examples 1, 2, and 3, we want to look at determining which measure of center is most appropriate to estimate. In example 1, a recent study looked at the percentage of people in 28 different non-US countries. That's our value for our sample size, n, who replied yes to the question, is religion important in your daily life? The skewness for the data was collected was negative 1.7891. And the question is, are the conditions met to estimate the population mean? In this case, the sample size is 25 or larger. Specifically, it's n equals 28. And the data in this case is highly skewed, specifically highly left skewed. But we would say that the conditions are met because that sample size requirement is met. We're not worried about the skewness as long as our data set is large enough. In this case, the conditions that are met to estimate the mean. To investigate this data, we would need to construct a confidence interval estimate for the population mean. In example 2, we're told that a study looked at the number of emergency room visits for non-occupational firework-related injuries in the first half of July across 15 different cities. The skewness collected from the data was negative 2.8919. And same question, are the conditions met to estimate the population mean? In this case, the sample size is less than 25, since n is equal to 15, and the data is highly left skewed. Since we have a small sample and highly skewed data, that's telling us that it's likely that this data comes from a non-normally distributed population. We would say that the conditions are not met to estimate the mean, and to investigate this data, we would need to construct a confidence interval estimate for the population median. So again, what triggered the use of the median is that we had a small value for n, a small sample size, and highly skewed data. In example 3, we're told that data collected on alcohol-related motor vehicle crashes was collected from Philadelphia over a 14-month period. So our sample size is small. The skewness for the data collected was negative 0.0536. Are the conditions met to estimate the population mean? So our sample size is less than 25, but the data is approximately symmetric. Even though our sample is small, because the data is approximately symmetric, it's likely that it comes from a normally distributed population. So we would say that the conditions are met to estimate the mean. And to investigate this data, we would construct a confidence interval estimate for the population mean.